feel like your life is so busy that it's impossible to find time for English? Today, we're revealing how to turn your normal routine into a fluency workout. Stay with us.
Hey, Liam. I feel like life is already so busy all the time. So, how can I practice English all day without actually studying?
That's a great question, Emma, because many learners think they need hours of free time to improve English, but real fluency usually grows from small daily habits.
Really?
Yes, because most adults already have full schedules with work, school, traffic, responsibilities, and family obligations.
Wow, that's exactly my situation.
And when people finally have free time at night, their brains are already exhausted.
Exactly. Sometimes I open an English app for 5 minutes and then immediately close it. So, why does studying English feel so exhausting after a long day?
Because after a long day, your brain already feels overloaded. So when English feels like another difficult task instead of a natural part of your routine.
Interesting. So the problem is not only lack of time.
Sure, the bigger problem is believing you need large blocks of free time to improve.
So what should busy learners do instead?
Instead of waiting for free time, connect English to activities you already do naturally every day.
Like what?
While brushing your teeth, making coffee, taking the bus, cleaning your room, exercising, cooking dinner, or walking to work.
Interesting. So English becomes part of daily life instead of another obligation.
Exactly. And that makes practice feel lighter and more natural.
But can small moments really help someone improve?
Absolutely. Because consistency is much more important than intensity.
What kind of small moments?
2 minutes listening to English while making breakfast, 1 minute repeating useful phrases, or reading short captions online in English.
Wow. That sounds realistic for busy adults.
That's exactly why it works.
Why do learners often freeze when they try to speak?
Because many people mentally translate every sentence before speaking.
Wow. I do that all the time.
Translation slows down your confidence because your brain is trying to process 2 languages at once.
What is one easy habit beginners can start today?
Talking to yourself in English during normal daily activities.
Really?
Yes, because it helps your brain produce English naturally without fear of judgment.
What kinds of things should learners say?
Simple sentences like, I'm making coffee. I need to answer emails. I'm tired today. Or, I'm going to work.
Interesting. Because those are real situations people experience every day.
Exactly. And real-life repetition helps language become automatic.
What else can learners do to stay connected to English during the entire day?
One of the easiest and most effective habits is changing your phone language to English.
Really?
Yes, because your phone is probably the thing you look at most every single day.
That's definitely true.
So, instead of seeing your native language all day, your brain starts seeing English naturally and repeatedly.
But doesn't that feel confusing at first?
Yes, the first few days can feel uncomfortable because your brain is adapting to new patterns.
Interesting.
But after some repetition, your brain automatically starts recognizing words like settings, battery, notifications, schedule, and update.
Wow. So learners stop translating and start understanding directly.
Exactly. And that direct connection is extremely important for fluency.
Why is direct connection so important?
Because translation creates delay and hesitation during conversation.
Interesting.
Fluent speakers usually connect words directly to meaning instead of mentally translating sentence by sentence.
Wow, that explains why beginners often feel slow while speaking.
Exactly, because their brains are working twice as hard.
So, changing small things in daily life can actually train the brain naturally?
Absolutely, because the brain learns through constant exposure and repetition.
Many learners also feel frustrated because they forget vocabulary quickly. So, why is it so hard to remember new words after studying them?
Because many learners try to memorize isolated words without using them in real situations. And your brain remembers language much better when words are connected to emotions.
What do you mean by real experiences and daily routines?
Your brain learns language faster when English is connected to situations you experience repeatedly in real life.
Can you give an example?
Sure. Memorizing the isolated word coffee from a vocabulary list is much less effective than repeatedly saying, "I need coffee," every morning while actually making coffee.
Wow, because the phrase feels connected to a real moment.
Exactly. And that emotional and practical connection helps your brain remember the language more naturally.
So, spoken chunks are easier to remember because they feel practical.
Yes, your brain prefers meaningful patterns instead of disconnected information.
Interesting.
That's why native speakers communicate using chunks constantly.
Can you give more examples of natural spoken chunks?
Sure. Phrases like, "I'm running late. I'll call you later." That sounds good. "I'm really busy today." And "I don't feel like it."
Wow. Those expressions sound much more natural than textbook English.
Because real conversation is usually simple, relaxed, and repetitive.
Interesting. But many learners try to sound advanced immediately.
And that often creates anxiety and hesitation.
Really?
Yes, because learners become too focused on sounding perfect instead of communicating comfortably.
What other habits help learners practice English naturally during the day?
Using micro moments instead of waiting for long study sessions.
What exactly are micro moments?
Small moments during the day where you briefly interact with English.
Like listening to short audio clips?
Exactly. Or watching one short video, reading one Instagram caption, repeating one sentence aloud, or listening to 1 minute of a podcast.
Wow, that sounds manageable, even for someone with a busy schedule.
That's why micro moments are so powerful.
But can 1 minute really make a difference?
Yes, because language learning is heavily connected to frequency.
So the goal is to stay connected consistently.
Sure.
Many learners disappear from English for several days and then try to study for 3 hours suddenly.
And that usually feels exhausting and difficult to maintain.
I see many learners also consume English every day, but still struggle to speak. So why does that happen?
That happens because input alone is not enough.
What do you mean?
Listening helps understanding, but speaking requires output practice too.
Interesting. What would you say is the biggest secret to practicing English all day without studying?
The biggest secret is to stop separating real life from English.
What do you mean by that?
Many learners think English only exists inside textbooks, apps, or classrooms, but fluent people connect English to their normal daily lives.
Wow, that actually changes the way I see practice.
Exactly, because the moment English becomes part of your routine, your brain stops treating it like school homework.
So English starts feeling more natural and less stressful?
Exactly. And that mental shift is one of the biggest breakthroughs for confidence and fluency.
Wow, that's powerful.
And if you want to learn even more natural English, watch the next video on your screen because we're going to talk about how to speak during a doctor's appointment, which is something many learners struggle with.
Yeah, that's true. I definitely need to learn that. So I'll see you there?
For sure. See you in the next video. Bye.